Hello YouTube, this is Ultra Maximus back with another Transformers review. This time we're going to look at Predaking. Hey guys, Ultra Maximus here, and I just want to sit down and talk about Predaking before we actually look at the toy. Standard mode of operation, the figure, the character, toys, all that kind of good stuff. So Predaking, very cool. I'm excited to actually get this figure out. I've had it for a while, for a few months. I just haven't had time to sit down and go over the figure. So I really just kind of wanted to look at it, talk about it, and I'm also going to add some crazy devy upgrades to it. So there's going to be a two-part to this review. So this particular one's going to be about the figure itself, the combiner mode, all that kind of good stuff. Predaking, ooh, where to start? Loved this character when I was a kid. I never had the toy. A friend of mine had this toy, and I just thought it was so fantastic because it's so big, it's so bulky. It's probably the bulkiest of all the Gestalt combiners that they put out in the G1 series, and I just love the colors. We first see Predaking in the series of Transformers after the movie, so the final season of Transformers, when we see Predaking for the first time, and Galvatron just magically has Predaking. I don't know, they don't really give a background story of how he was built or where they came from. Predaking's a little different than the other combiners. Most of the other combiners, you've got intelligent individual robots, and when they merge, they kind of become this big dumb Frankenstein-like robot. And Predaking's the opposite. His 5 individual characters were, of course, the Predacons, and they weren't all that bright. They were kind of Dinobot-esque intelligent. And then when they combined into Predaking, they actually got highly intelligent. So like their minds combined up into one to make a more intelligent robot, which was, I thought, always cool. The Predacons were actually, going back and looking at stuff, if you read the original draft of Transformers the movie in 1986, the Predacons were actually supposed to be the Autobots. The Decepticons' Devastator is breaking through the wall, and he's going through the Robot Zoo, the Roboto Zoo, I think is what they call it, and Wheeljack and Ultra Magnus are in a war room, and Wheeljack's like, hey, they're breaking in, and Ultra Magnus orders the release of the Autobots to go after Devastator. Well, basically it was broke down. The Autobots were essentially the Predacons, and a lot of people think that's why the Predacons have those type of colors, why they're orange and red and gold instead of traditional darker Decepticon colors, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I believe instead of forming Predaking, they formed some kind of dragon character. Well, they scrapped that out of the movie, and then they retooled those characters, and they became the Predacons that we see in the series after. So, interesting stuff. Of course, the Predacons is the name of the faction that the Decepticons eventually upgrade to. I think there's some comic book history of the connection between those, why they become Predacons and all that kind of good stuff. I haven't really looked into that too terribly much. But nothing really beats Predaking. He's badass. He's an awesome Gestalt. He looks cool. The figure's big. It's bulky. It's neat. Now, the one I'm going to take a look at is from the reissue series. It's a Japanese Takara Tomy issue of Transformers 2010, and so it's a reissue one. It's not an original, but it's in great condition and looks awesome. Can't wait to get it together. First time I've had it out of the box, and I've had this thing for months, and I'm like, I gotta get it out. Gotta look at it. Gotta play with it. See what's going on. So let's take a look at this figure. Let's look at the box. Let's look at the packaging. I'm gonna look at each individual figure, and then we'll look at him in robot. We'll look at him in the animal mode, and then we'll put them all together for Predaking. Now, I'm not going to add the Crazy Devy add-ons in this video. I'm going to do another video and talk specifically about those add-on parts. So keep a lookout for that. And I'm actually going to put them out, so the 2 videos should be coming out back to back when I get this done. So take a look for that one as well, and I'll have a link to it down at the bottom in this video. So let's take a look at this toy, guys. Can't wait. All right, so here we go. This is the package. Predaking, Takara Tomy, obviously up here in the corner, and it's from the Transformers 2010 commemorative series. It's a Japanese box, obviously. Now I got this from Big Bad Toy Store, and I can't remember the price off the top of my head. It was whatever it was going for, the standard price for this figure. Great artwork. We've got some artwork from the guys that do the same art for IDW, which is fantastic. Everything in in Japanese. It's in Transformers. It's in Japanese, so we've got the standard Japanese information here, but also Predaking in English, and then we've got Razor Claw and Rampage, Dive Bomb, Tantrum, and Headstrong, all in English as well. So you know exactly what's going on with the box, what's going on. Now this particular package that I got, it was not perfect, it was not mint, and that's okay because, well, I'm going to take the figure out, so it doesn't really matter all that much. The nice thing I like about this, it's got the little handle at the top. This is a very well done package. I'm really impressed with it. It's like a little suitcase that I can take the figures around in. However, once I get it merged into Predaking, never in the box will it go back again, but I'm definitely going to keep this box here. So very cool looking. Just kind of get a close-up of it. Predaking. Some of the artwork just looks really fantastic. Really like it. Guys up on the top. Down here at the bottom. Of course. There we go. So really nice stuff. We really like this figure, or this package. Very impressive so far. Here's a side shot of it. We got a group of the Predacons up here, and then combining it into Predaking down here. Kind of neat, kind of fun. Very cool stuff. Back of the package. Very nice. Again, we have all the figures, but this time that's in the toy mode. Predaking over here, lots of Japanese stuff down here, probably talking about Predaking and his background of all these stats and everything that I don't speak Japanese, so I couldn't tell you what it is. All the different characters, and then their different profiles are down here in Japanese. So, very cool looking. Very nice. They did a very good job with this. Like it, like it, like it. No disappointments so far. Other side of the box, we just have Predaking and the individual robots. So this is what they all look like in their little robot mode. A little glare off of light. It's very bright and sunny here in Indiana today. Transformers in Japanese with the Decepticon logo. Totally different cartoon. And then we've got the top of the box right here with the handle. Japanese Transformers. Not sure what that says. Probably something to do with Transformers 2010. And of course we've got good old Preds here at the top. Bottom of the package. Again, we've got Predaking and all of the robots in their beast and robot mode. And then it says, of course, Transformers in Japanese with the logo. So there it is. Very cool. Very nice. And a nice little shot with the aquarium behind it. If you guys watch my other videos, Peanuts Reef, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you just watch the Transformer stuff, I do a series on aquariums, and this particular aquarium in the background, it would be a nice background shot today. I don't know why. I may do it in the future. We'll see. I kind of like it. But that's Peanuts Reef, if you like to fish. So, here it is, Predaking in package. We like it. Let's get this guy out of the package, take a look at the figures, and see what they look like. All right, just as an open up to let you know, this is, again, really nice. You just open the package here. It opens up like a suitcase. And inside, we have our figures. Very cool, very nice, very impressive. Okay, so we have a variety of goody good stuff. Let's start off with the figures. So the first one that we have, bring it a little closer, so we can see them. All right, so we're starting off with Razor Claw. Now, the nice thing about this figure, well, besides the fact this thing is totally awesome, is it is a metal transformer. Yes, that's the reason I like the Takara Tomy reissues. Actually, the Toys R Us reissues were the same way by Hasbro. They were all metal as well. Straight die cast. Oh, I missed this. This is a bulky, heavy toy, and it looks awesome. The other nice thing about this figure set is stickers are already on here, which is fantastic. We've got, it's very good for me because I suck at putting on stickers. Do you guys suck at that? I'm terrible at that, always have been. So it's got the stickers already on here. And the other cool thing about this version of the reissue, I believe the US reissue was not like this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the gold and orange and red, whereas the other one had yellow. Instead of gold, it was yellow. So this one's gold and pretty and looks fantastic. I'm loving it to death here. Very cool stuff. So here's Razor Claw in the lion mode. Meow. Love it. Looks awesome. Next up, we have Rampage. So, is he a puma? Right? Isn't he a puma? What he's supposed to be? Looking fantastic in his reds. Again, we have our standard Decepticon sticker, and we have the rub stickers, which was big for way back then. So we can just rub there, and we can see he has a Decepticon. Very cool. I'd love to get another set of these and turn these into Autobots, by the way. That would be awesome. All right, so next up, Headstrong. I always liked this guy for some reason. I don't know why. I'm a huge fan of his. Always liked the Rhino. I liked Rhinox in Beast Wars. Very cool. Very nice. Lots of metal on this guy here. All this gold is straight metal. Lots of metal there. A lot of the red on... taking them up here. The red on this guy, this is all metal, plastic. There's some plastic, metal. So he's kind of half and half. This guy's the same way. We got metal on his waist piece here. But the bulk of this guy is metal. Maybe that's always why I like this character. Because he's just big and heavy and he's just brutish. Like it. Very nice. Very cool stuff. Next up, we've got Tantrum. Our little bull. Woo. Or cow, whatever it is. I'm presuming it's supposed to be a bull. Very cool. Decepticon logo. He looks awesome. Again, the orange part here is all metal, and then we got some plastic here and there. Plastic head, all that kind of good stuff. So there's our little bully. And then, last but not least, we've got Dive Bomb. Looking pretty awesome. Extend his wings out here. And then, of course, he's got this little tail. There's Dive Bomb. It comes up. He's actually probably my least favorite of these figures. I don't know why. I mean, he's all right. He's the air support. He's pretty cool on the show. But I mean, he's okay, I guess. I just like the other ones better for some reason. So he's got some metal here on his waist piece, and the rest of all this is plastic. So now I will kind of tell you, after watching some other people on reviews with the Crazy Devi updates or Crazy Devi upgrades and things like that, that the pieces that will go onto this figure here for the wing extensions will scratch up this original, which don't really matter much to me because once I put the wing extensions on, they're never going to come off. My guy is going to stay in Predaking mode forever once I put him in there. So not that big of a deal to me, but FYI, that is an issue I've heard. So if you have an original G1 Predaking, I would not add the Crazy Devi upgrades to it. If you can get a hold of a reproduction unit, or if you get a second G1 Predaking that you don't really care that much about, that's when I would add those upgrades on there. The only reason I'm doing it is because this is a reissue figure that was just made, and I got this for like $100. So beware of that. FYI kind of stuff. So there we have our guys. I'm going to put him over. Let me stack it back here. It doesn't look quite right, but okay. We also have our instructions, some extra stickers, and there's a series of training cards in here, which is pretty darn cool. Bunch of extra stickers. I will not be applying these. And then we have trading cards for Predaking himself, and then there's one for each of the characters. So that's pretty cool. And then on the back, they've got all their stats in Japanese and the Decepticon logo right in the middle, which looks pretty neat. Very nice little add-in. I'd like to see that done with a lot more figures. I think that's very cool. Even figures putting out today. Why can't we get something like this in Transformers Prime toys? One little card. That's all we need. Just the one little card. That's awesome. It's a great little collector's piece. Way to go, Takara Tomy. Another nod to them over Hasbro. And then, of course, we've got the instructions in Japanese. Thankfully, there are pictures to go with. So, I'm probably going to have to use these. I hate to say it because it's been years since I've actually sat down and played with this toy. So, thank goodness for instructions, right? Other cool things that this guy came with. You've got feet for Predaking. Those are necessary. You've also got hands for Predaking with the big fists. These I've always liked the spikes on there. I mean, he's just mean. It's awesome. You've got his gun, big nasty bad boy, which is very cool looking. And I think this actually even mounts up here on one of the guys. I can't remember which one it is. It might be the Rhino. I've seen it used that way before. I can't remember which one it's for. And then, of course, you've got Predaking's head. So that's kind of nice looking. Now, there are additional Crazy Devi upgrades that we'll go through, or that you can purchase. I'll talk more about that when I get into the upgrade stuff on the next video. And then we've got an assortment of swords for each one of these guys. And then we've got their individual guns. I'm not even going to bother with these things. They will probably remain in this package and go back into the box. So, but here they are. Very cool looking. Hopefully, these gold plastic pieces never get the GPS. So, I guess time will tell. But since these are brand new, I still got a long ways to go before I have any issues. So there's the figures in beast mode. Let's take a look at them in robot mode, and then we're going to look at the whole thing as Predaking. Okay, so let's take a look at these guys in robot mode. Kind of fun transforming them. Definitely cool. So here we have Razor Claw in robot mode. What I always liked about him was the lion piece here, how it kind of rotates down from up on the top here, and then the head comes down, and there he is. Doesn't he look so cute in robot mode? Oh. One thing I noticed with this figure, and you know, maybe it's because it's been so long since I've messed around with it, or the fact that I never actually particularly owned it, he's got some very stubby little arms. And but I mean, this is a G1 toy, so I mean, it's not, you know, one of those, oh my god, it's so horrible toy. This is a great toy. I love it. Transforms pretty fun. It's not too difficult. It's very stiff. The figure itself is a very stiff toy. It's very heavy. It sits pretty well. Well, it's going to have an issue on this ottoman here. It's a G1 toy, but since it's so new, because it's a reissue, the joints are very stiff, which is very nice. But it looks good. I love the head sculpt on this guy. I mean, he's just fantastic. I've always loved Razor Claw's head sculpt. So, I mean, he looks really, really good. So there he is. Let's take a look at Rampage. Where did I put him? There he is. Alright, so there's Razor Claw. We'll kind of put him back over here in the corner. And here's Rampage, looking very cool. Again, he transforms almost identically to Razor Claw. The head coming around, the arms coming out, everything folding under, almost identical. He's got a little bit bigger arms. They were a little easier to come out. His arms were actually very, very difficult to get out of socket. So that's probably just because it's a brand new toy. Very cool. Again, decent looking figure. His head sculpt, he reminds me kind of a red version of like Runabout and Runamuck. I'm not really sure why. He just kind of, he predates those figures, but that's just what he kind of reminds me of. So there he is. A little bit lighter than Razor Claw. Dive Bomb. Here's Dive Bomb. This is what he looks like. Now, the one thing, it was funny because when I was transforming him and putting him together, I remembered this up here, his horrible little bird head thing. That's supposed to go down around, and it never, maybe that's why I never liked this figure, because it never really did a lot for me. It's kind of hard to see his little face with that bird mouth piece down. So, I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm not a big fan of this figure. I remember that, and I remember that being very awkward. But here he is. Now, the one thing I do like about him, he's got his little blasters here on his arms. Razor Claw does too, to a certain extent, but his look really, really cool. Very nice. So there's our little air support bird guy. I don't know if he's going to stand up. He's kind of top heavy. Now we'll just lay him down. Just put him to the side there. Let's see who's up next. Tantrum. Now, this guy is he's always looked goofy to me in robot mode. So here's Tantrum. He's got the big goofy arms. Kind of has got the click pops going on there. He just look, hey dude. He just looks kind of weird to me. For some reason this reminds me of one of the mini bots, the style of arms, like Power Glide or Sea Spray or somebody like that. Just looks really weird. He also has twin blasters on his arms. The one thing I forgot, this chest piece kind of flips up here to do that. That was kind of cool. Everything was pretty decent. The horns on this figure are a little loose. I can't remember if that was the way it was originally or if it's just this particular figure. If you got him, let me know. What do you think? But there he is. He's a kind of a bulky figure. Oop, now he's a little bit taller. Again, not much articulation in the legs and such. But remember, he's a G1 Gestalt combiner. So there he is in robot mode. And lastly, we've got Headstrong. Here's Headstrong. Ta-da! Very simple design. Again, not much articulation. His arms are probably some of the better ones, I think, of all of them, maybe next to Dive Bomb. I like Dive Bomb's arms, just on the sheer look, but his at least move around a little more robot-y. The one thing I remember with this guy is the head sliding back. That was kind of fun, and then bringing it up and making sure it was there. So I remember that. That was always kind of fun with him. Very heavy figure. Him and Headstrong and him and Headstrong. Him and Tantrum, and Razor Claw. These are the three heaviest. They've got the most metal out of them. But there he is. So very cool stuff. Yeah. So here he's gonna do some push-ups. Yeah. So there are our robot modes for the figures. So now let's put them together and form Predaking. All right. So here we have Predaking in all his good and combined gloriousness. This is a heavy, heavy figure. Okay. Very cool. Very awesome. All the parts. Now, I will tell you this. Get his little gun over here. This is looking pretty awesome. A couple things about him. One, he's not going to stand up on this ottoman, so I'm just going to hold him. Things I forgot about this figure. Number one, these hands are hard to get into place. This one was a little easier on Dive Bomb than it was over here on Rampage. I really thought I was going to break the legs trying to get this on here. So I mean that was kind of difficult getting him on there. I don't remember that. Of course, I didn't. Not owning it, I didn't transform it a lot. This one seemed a little bit easier. Other things that I forgot: the little switches over here on the sides to kind of help get the legs in and hold them, and the quick release to let them out for the legs. That was an important remember without breaking the figure. What else? Good quick remembers here. Oh, this leg was kind of difficult getting everything together and sitting in there, finally getting it into place. It slides into place, but that foot was kind of a pain in the tush to get it together. The legs basically are one piece. They don't move hardly at all. Very little articulation. This guy, you're pretty much going to set him up, and there he is. Wings, unfortunately, barely come out, but that's why we have the Crazy Devi add-on kits, and of course his guns are like wee tiny small up here on his shoulders. But again, that's why we have the add-on kits. So I will do a video on those, which the only two pieces I'm going to do the video on, I'm going to add the wings and I'm going to add the guns. They've got a new head sculpt for him, and they also have a sword for him, but I'm not going to add those on there. And they also have feet that make him a little bit taller. And I think they've got articulated hands now too that you can get to put on this guy. I just didn't really see the need for those. The figure itself, I love. I just wanted the wings to be extended a little further, and I wanted the guns to come out. So I may pick up the sword at some point. I don't know. That might look kind of cool. But the figure itself, fantastic. Love it. Looks great. Brings me back to 1987. Fantastic figure. Can't wait to put the addition pieces on there and then set this guy up with some of my other figures. I think he's going to look really nice sitting next to Unicron. So there he is, Predaking. Thanks for watching, guys, and take a look for the Crazy Devi upgrade video that I will be releasing alongside this, and there will be a link to the add-on pieces down below. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you later.